Who's in charge? Here in the United States, it's a question we ask ourselves daily about our federal government. The answer can be given, can be a different answer on any given day, or no answer. Because sometimes we don't have a clue as to who's in charge, because the man with the title of President of the United States seems to sometimes have no clue as to who's in charge. I'm not throwing out broad generalities here. I'm going to take a very specific example of the question of who's in charge, which played out this week. Last night, in an interview with my colleague Kristen Welker, Donald Trump claimed he would be sending Patriot missiles to NATO to distribute to Ukraine. And of course, Donald Trump claimed NATO would be paying for those missiles, quote, 100%. This is a complete turnaround to what we knew or thought we knew about the distribution of U.S. missiles to Ukraine earlier this week. Reports indicated that the Pentagon had paused all weapons shipments to Ukraine. On Tuesday, Donald Trump was asked an important question about the pause, and as the supposed man in charge, he probably should have had an answer. Instead, Donald Trump said to a reporter, "I don't know. Why don't you tell me?" Don't take my word for it. Watch for yourself.
Mr. President, you have sent more weapons to Ukraine, as you said last night. Last week, the Pentagon paused some shipments of weapons to Ukraine. Did you approve of that pause?
We want to put defensive weapons because Putin is not treating human beings right. He's killing too many people. So we're sending some defensive weapons to Ukraine, and I've approved that.
So who ordered the pause last week?
I don't know. Why don't you tell me?
I don't know. Why don't you tell me? These are expensive missiles. These are Patriots. They intercept incoming missiles. They're the most sophisticated missile interceptors in the world. If you're in charge of that, you shouldn't need to ask a reporter, why don't you tell me who stopped those interceptors from going to Ukraine? Just hours after this exchange, reports emerged that the decision to authorize the weapons pause came from this man, the defense secretary, Pete Hegseth. So apparently Pete Hegseth is in charge. Pete Hegseth, whom Senator Thom Tillis says is out of his depth.
With the passing of time, I think it's clear he's out of his depth as a manager of a large, complex organization.
Okay, so you'll recall that Senator Thom Tillis, a Republican, was the deciding vote for Pete Hegseth. He announced he was a yes for Pete Hegseth while the vote was underway, which then cleared the path for J.D. Vance to help Hegseth squeak through confirmation, which has never, ever before happened for a defense secretary. But wait a second. On Wednesday, Donald Trump said it's Donald Trump who's in charge.
Sir, yesterday you said that you were not sure who ordered the munitions halted to Ukraine. Have you since been able to figure that out?
Well, I haven't thought about it because we're looking at Ukraine right now and munitions, but I have not gone into it.
What does it say that such a big decision could be made inside your government without you knowing?
I would know. If a decision was made, I will know. I'll be the first to know. In fact, most likely I'd give the order, but I haven't done that yet. Yeah, please.
States government, the president holds the ultimate executive authority. As the current 47th president of the United States, Donald Trump is at the head of the executive branch and is, by definition, in charge. However, the functioning of the U.S. government is a complex system involving multiple layers of power and influence, even within the executive branch. Here's a breakdown of who is in charge and how power is distributed in his government. The President. As the head of state and government, the President sets the agenda, makes key policy decisions, issues executive orders, and directs the various federal agencies. He has the power to appoint and remove cabinet secretaries and other top officials, shaping the direction and priorities of the administration. The Vice President. The Vice President is a key advisor to the President and is ready to assume the presidency if needed. They often play a significant role in policy initiatives and represent the administration publicly. The Cabinet. The President's cabinet consists of the heads of the 15 executive departments, e.g., Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, Attorney General, and other high-ranking officials designated by the President. These individuals are responsible for managing their respective departments and advising the President on policy matters within their purview. While appointed by the President, they lead substantial bureaucracies and implement policies. White House staff and advisors. A critical component of the president's government is the White House staff, including the chief of staff, various advisors, and senior assistants. These individuals directly assist the president in developing and implementing policy, managing the executive branch, and communicating with Congress and the public. Their influence can be substantial, as they often control access to the president and shape the information he receives. Department of Government Efficiency. This new entity, established by President Trump, is co-chaired by individuals like Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. While not a traditional executive department requiring congressional approval, DOGE is a component of the Executive Office of the President and is tasked with dismantling government bureaucracy, reducing regulations, and restructuring federal agencies. This initiative suggests a strong focus on streamlining government operations and implementing a specific vision of efficiency.